Hi everybody, Salam Alaikum. Welcome to the Salam Mama Show. Today we're talking about kids, and specifically about kids and their entrepreneurial and charitable efforts. Recently, if you've watched the Salam Mama Show, and I hope that you have, you know that in a prior episode we talked about essential oils. And in that episode we took you guys along to a booth that we had, and in that same booth I also shared space with our kids and gave them time, freedom, seed money to start this little venture that each of them had. And at the end of the day, lots of lessons were learned. So I encourage you to take a look, see their experiences, because you actually get to hear from them on this episode of the Salam Mama Show. And then hopefully be inspired to encourage your own kids to go out, strike out on a little adventure of their own.
Somehow we'll find our way. We'll find the other side. Peace for you and I. Salam, 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 salam.
If your kids are like mine, they've got so many ideas, like a mile a minute running through their heads of things they want to do and projects they want to start, and this is such a great idea, and then they sit with their brothers and sisters and collaborate and brainstorm, and all of a sudden they're pitching these wild things to you, and every once in a while it's something you can actually do. I think it's important as parents that we support our kids when they're brainstorming, when they're coming up with these ideas, when they seem totally far-fetched and off the wall, because there's a lot of value in A, them even sharing their hopes and dreams and ideas with you, and B, in them going through the entire cycle of starting a business from beginning to end. There's so many valuable lessons.
You make those yourself?
Yeah, with mom. And then our little sister.
You made those? Those are cool.
Well, actually, that's my daughter too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can you say hello, brother?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
We're here at the Adams Center Eat Festival at the Salam Mama booth, and there's Salama. We are actually, the 6 of us are kind of adding on to her booth, and we're selling each of our own different kind of crafts or products. I'm selling dryer balls, but right now let's go over to Jabril for his paracord bracelets.
Well, today I'm selling paracord bracelets. They're bracelets made up of parachute cord. That's why they're called that. Paracord bracelets can come in really handy, especially if you're camping or going on a trip, because all you need to do is cut the end, and then you have about 10 feet of rope per bracelet.
Recently, my kids decided they wanted to make paracord bracelets and sell them. And then my daughter decided she wanted to make wool dryer balls and sell them using local wool, of course, the Salam Mama way. And then our youngest decided she wanted to make rainbow loom bracelets and sell those. But why? Well, they all had different reasons. Everybody was fundraising for charity, which I love, because that's really important to instill in our children, not just to donate your time and give of yourself, but also to donate and give of the wealth and the blessings that we have. Secondly, though, there's also a lot of value in learning how to start a business. They've got to sit down before we even bought products for them to start making their inventory. We sat down, they made a list of the supplies they would need, what it would cost, a per unit price, came up with what they thought they could sell it for, and which kind of gave them an idea of the profit they'd make and how many they'd have to sell to even break even. So lots of math there. They also had to come up with a marketing strategy. Who are they selling it to? Why would somebody be interested in their product? How are they going to get the word out about their products? What is it that people will respond to? They also got to deal a lot with the public, customer service, quality, addressing people's concerns. What if something breaks or snaps? For example, one of those paracord bracelets I talked about had an elastic in there, and a few minutes after one of our customers bought it, it snapped. guess what? My son doesn't make it using that elastic anymore. So lots of lessons learned, trial and error, and there's value in that. We have to let our kids take some risks and learn from them. As adults, we're always taking risks and sometimes learning lessons in ways we would rather not, but it's especially important for kids because they're still developing. They're still learning how to be confident, and they're still learning how to be cautious and trying to find a balance between those.
I have not hatched it.
They're handmade.
But yes,
with
those
mold.
could have.
My favorite one, I'm pretty sure is the small one. It's got halal marshmallows and graham crackers. Well, the money that I make is gonna go to my Scout account for Boy Scouts.
Salam Mama table selling hex bugs, which are little robots that have motors that spin these wheels with also sensors that tell it when it bumps into something, it goes backward, like now, or forward. Then I'm also selling these hex bugs, which are hex bug nanos. And they have a little switch here that turns on a piston that shakes the front back and forth and they move forward. The money goes to my Scout account and for my troop, so that like when we go on a camp out, instead of asking us to pay for it, they just take money from there and pay automatically.
These are rainbow bracelets.
How did you make them?
With glue. My brother is using it right now. So the rubber band, it uses an S-clip. There's different colors, and you use a hook, and then you can also do it by hand.
Can you show one off? Can you pick it up next year?
Oh.
Which one's your favorite one?
This one.
This one?
Here's a Palestine bracelet.
Well, we're taking turns with the hex bugs, and then Priscilla and I are switching out for the chocolates. And then we help Ivada with her rainbow balloon bracelet. It's really helpful to have support. We rotate doing hex bugs, chocolates, rainbow balloon bracelets. So.
The subject, and maybe 4 or 5 years ago,
And I'm having a really good time here. It's really fun. This is our list for chocolates of what we've sold. We're keeping track to see how much money we've sold of chocolates, dryer balls, rainbow balloon bracelets, paracord bracelets, and hex bugs.
So one of the things that we encourage our kids to do with all of their projects and little entrepreneurial adventures is to make sure to give back. So whether it's with scouting, we volunteer a lot with scouting, or our mosque, we do a lot of interfaith work and volunteerism through our mosque. We also encourage them with their fundraising efforts and their little business ventures to make sure to give back financially as well. This time for today's project, they've chosen to donate a portion of their proceeds to Loudon Cares, which is a local nonprofit organization. And we have with us today the executive director and 2014 Loudon Citizen of the Year, a dear friend of ours, Andy Johnston, and he's graciously come out so that the kids could present their donation from all of their hard work today to Andy for Loudon.
Loudon Cares. So here you go. You want to hand that to Mr. Johnson?
Thank you. Put it there. I want to.
Well, you guys do good work, and I know that that's why the kids were very excited, enthusiastic about helping you and the work that you do through Loudon Cares. Any advice for parents out there whose children, want to get out there and start that lemonade stand or make paracord bracelets or dryer balls and have these brainstorms get involved?
I think locally, around the country and internationally in the United States, you can call 211, just like 411 or 911, but call 211. Many communities have this number lined up to help people connect with volunteer opportunities.
Wow, I never knew that. Okay.
Most of the communities have a volunteer center, like Loudon has a volunteer center, like Volunteer Loudon. So Google volunteerism in your particular community. You should be able to find opportunities for youth, for adults, for faith congregations. Again, we're promoting this more and more throughout the country, throughout the world. There are so many opportunities.
We're closing up now. Business is good. Now that we're cleaning up, we know how much we sold in general, like probably 50 items. This was really fun, and I look forward to doing it again.
Makes it fresher and also
So how's that for a glimpse in one of the longest days we've had recently? We had a great time though, and I really enjoyed watching the kids, watching them do their little calculations, seeing them interact with their customers who were quite often also kids who then needed to ask their parents for permission to buy something. So it was interesting to see that dynamic, but that was part of the learning for them. And so I really valued that. And then the fact that at the end of the day, they were fundraising for themselves to help themselves buy the things that they need for their scouting and for field trips and so on, but most especially for the charitable contribution that they made at the end. That was really fulfilling, and I appreciated that they got to learn a lot at the same time. So my advice to you guys, my request to you guys actually is, when you are approached by a little kid, your own child, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor's kid a couple houses down, encourage them, support them. If they're coming to you with an order form, selling this or that for school, or Girl Scout cookies, my favorite time of the year by the way, Boy Scout popcorn, any of those, it would mean a lot in the life of that child. They're learning so much that goes on behind the scenes, and at the end of all of that, they're coming to you hoping that they can make a sale. And I would request that you guys at least consider it. Definitely encourage them, support them, give them a few words of inspiration, and then at least consider making a purchase. It'll mean a lot in the life of that child and what they're learning in general. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Assalamu alaikum.